Hi, this is Mike at Premium Crickets, and I'm honored to have with me my partner David Russell. David handles all the production side of getting the crickets and the worms to you, and I handle the sales and marketing. A lot of times I talk to you guys out there, and the question comes up, what makes us different? Why are we a different cricket farm than maybe other ones that you've had experience with? So I wanted to give David the opportunity to sort of address that from his own experience. And the one thing, as we were talking about it, the word stress came up, and we discussed this. And why don't you talk about what you do to minimize the amount of stress that the cricket goes through so that you get a stress-free, healthy cricket?
Yeah, Mike, what we try to do is, create a stress-free environment so that our crickets, so that they'll prosper and, grow healthy. Anytime you have, like predators, like spiders and beetles and worms and, all these kind of different things that prey on your crickets, puts your crickets under a lot of stress. And so we try to eliminate as much of that as we can. We also try to feed them a quality feed and, on a steady feeding program, give them plenty of fresh water, make sure the temperature is, a good temperature that they'll grow in, and that it's not too hot or too cold. That's also a form of stress on crickets. And anytime you can eliminate all this stress, you'll have a healthier cricket to feed your pets.
Yeah. So he didn't go into the details about it, but just so you know, the reduction of stress is a key thing he thinks about every day. One thing I notice is all the crickets are in brooders.
Right.
And that's how you raise them all, just a big bin. Would there be the temptation, say, of putting too many crickets in a brooder if you wanted to cut costs?
I'm sure that people try to do that.
Yeah.
They try to get the most bang for their buck, but in the process of doing that, you're gonna stress your crickets out, and they're not gonna be as healthy.
With too many. And also, I hear a lot of you talk about the extra bugs that you don't want your crickets. That's one thing that we're proud of. That now every now and then a spider gets in, but we don't have the famous woolly worm. And what is a woolly worm?
It's the larva of a black water beetle, and
Right.
it's just a worm that's synonymous with most cricket farms. Most people haven't been able to eliminate them. I don't really know how you get them, but once you get them, they're really hard to get rid of. And
Right.
They prey on your crickets. They'll eat them. They stress them out. They get in your feed. They get in everything you have.
Right.
And also, when you try to ship crickets, they get in your shipping boxes. So it's just an unlimited.
It's an infestation,
Right.
basically. That's the problem of having a cricket farm, is that once you have crickets, everything else wants your crickets, in addition to you. So you've been able to make sure you put a program in place so we don't have that black larva beetle.
Right. We
Right.
eliminated them.
Okay. Now, also the temptation would be, see, the normal cycle to raise a cricket is 6 weeks. And it costs a certain amount of money to take a cricket to keep them in there for 6 weeks. So the temptation would be, hey, why don't we do something different so that it goes from 6 to 4 weeks? What are some things that people do to take that 6 weeks to go to 4 weeks to get a full-grown cricket? And why don't you do those?
Well, you can actually feed them a hotter feed, which is a high protein feed. You can raise the temperature in your cricket farm to a higher level, and it'll make your crickets grow faster, but they won't be as healthy. They just
Yeah.
People will say they are, but I've never seen that.
All right, so it's called a hot cricket, and we haven't succumbed to that temptation to grow a hot cricket to cut costs, right?
Right.
All right. And I think environment has a lot to do with raising our crickets. We're in Georgia. We're sort of the middle part of Georgia. And what are your thoughts? Why do you think Georgia is such a good place to grow crickets?
There's several things. I think humidity has a lot to do with it. Any animal that sheds its skin needs a certain amount of humidity to make that work right. I don't know. We have a hot climate. I know that, and crickets love hot weather.
Right.
But, you can get them too hot, but at the same time, you need a hot environment to grow them in. You know, we have a long, warm season, so we can grow crickets probably a little less expensive than people up north can.
Yeah, so it's a temperature and humidity, and you know, you find throughout the United States certain things grow better in certain regions. This region that we're in really is ideally suited for the raising and growing of crickets.
Right.
Is there anything else that you think that we do that maybe sets us apart from other ones?
I don't know if anything we do, but our crickets are, people tell us every day how healthy they are, and I think that,
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to feed your pet a healthy cricket, you're going to have a happier pet.
Yeah, and a
healthier
healthier.
pet.
Yeah. All right, David, thank you.